He's right.
About what?
If tomorrow I died wearing a uniform, my family would show to my funeral. Maybe a couple officers. John would show up. They may have a photo of me on the whiteboard for a little bit. And just as quick as they put it up, someone else's face would go there eventually. I believe there is a good reason why Sean gave me this watch. And in his note, he mentioned that I would know when the right time to hand it back was. And at the end of our conversation, Sean walked away and said, "Time's ticking." And that if I did put the uniform on, that would be my legacy. I don't look at the uniform the same anymore after what happened to me. I told you that the only way they could get rid of me was if they fired me, and they need a good reason.
Mm.
After the conversation with Sean, I don't see that being in line anymore.
Mm.
What I will say, though, and this goes without say, there are people in that police department, and the list is not big, but of other people who I consider genuinely good people. And a lot of them in the past have told me how much I've inspired them. And I don't want who people know me as to do them a disservice
Mm.
and walk away from them without reminding those people the value that they provide to that place.
Hmm.
Because the short group of us is a very dying breed.
I agree.
I asked Sean to give me time and to take my word for the same value that I took into this watch. And he agreed.
Okay.
I am scared
I
of
know.
such a drastic change. And I don't know if I'll ever know when I'm ready.
Hmm.
And I told Sean that I will be ready when I know. And that I think that time is very soon.
Hmm.
But I don't think you can put a date on something like that.
I agree.
Irish, thank you for the raid, dude. Thank you for probably my top 5 favorite conversations I've ever had with Flop. Please feel better, though. Please. Welcome, everybody.
I
Go get some sleep.
listen, just like you had told me before, whatever decision that you make or conclusion that you come to, I will be right next to you for it. Same way you told me that you'd be there for me. Whatever it is, I'll be there to support you in whatever way I can. And if that takes a while, that takes a while. If it's tomorrow, it's tomorrow. Honestly, I think you going around and talking with those officers that you know and are close with and sort of giving them your perspective and hoping, maybe even guiding them towards doing the same, I think would be a really, really good thing for that department. Because, like you said, there's not a lot of there's not a lot of you guys. So
Shut the fuck up, Irish. You stupid motherfucker. I think the good ones are owed a proper goodbye.
mm,
And I think a short time to help out those detectives who are inspired by my methods are owed my experience.
mm,
I don't think I'll ever have a legacy with the Rangers.
I'm going to stop you right there. You do. uh, I mean, without your help, me and Tessa wouldn't have been as built up as we were. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure we could have managed something, as we always have, but you do have a legacy with that. Even if it's not recent, it is there. But you're right. I get it. There's still some things to be done, and honestly, you being a sort of mentor, or even just giving some of those guys your perspective on things, it would be good. Honestly, your point of view is needed on a lot of this stuff, because a lot of those guys just see the people of the city as adversaries, not people to be helped.
Yeah. I've given this a lot of thought. It's hard not to. And I know that there are going to be a lot of problems, maybe with the family, but I'm okay with that.
Mm. Well, we just need to take that time to explain to them, where you're at with all of this, and give them that perspective, because honestly, I think you are in a very unique position. You are the centerpiece to this family. Richard and Dark both being your dads, Etta, your sister, Maple being Etta's fiance. You and your perspective matters to every single one of them. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying mine doesn't in some way, but your flop, you're you're the reason that they're all there. You're the reason I'm here. So you just take your time, explain what you're thinking and feeling, and they'll come to terms with it one way or another. I'm sure there may be some pushback, but if you explain to them, and I mean really explain to them what has happened and where you're at, I'd be hard pressed why they wouldn't understand.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing that I want more in my life than to be happy. A very large portion of what makes me happy, a majority, is this family. fact that you continue to support the decisions I've made over these last 7 months is all the reassurance I need to know.
Mm.
So thank you.
That's my job.
Yeah. Did you know what Sean was going to tell me?
I had no idea. Sean, he's real good about keeping things to himself, and which I admire him for. He's very, he's got a good head on his shoulders. He said that, I mean, it was pretty obvious that he wanted to talk to you, but um, he didn't tell me, and I didn't really ask because I trust Sean. He, I know what he really wants is, for the club to be better. Um, and I know what the club stands for. So, not only that, I understand that Sean values, you know, people's personal relationships. You know, the idea of family and what that means for the club and the club being family. I didn't know what he was going to say, but I trust that it was important to him, and if it meant something to you, then that's just all the better.
He put things in a perspective. Let me reword that. I had a puzzle in front of me, and the way that Sean described the pieces was able to assort a puzzle in my brain that I couldn't solve on my own. And his thought process made complete sense.
Mm.
Um, I also learned about Sean's time in prison and about who PJ was after the police department.
A lot of parallels there, Flop.
Yeah. I I would want nothing more in my life right now to have one more conversation with TJ.
Yeah. Uh, I think I may have told you this already, but my last conversation with TJ was us talking about, uh, why he chose to end up doing what he did, leaving the department. We talked about before that, when he was a kid. We talked about after that, when he was in the BBMC. Um, but again, with him leaving the department, it was a story about, you know, just him seeing the things go on around him and knowing that it was not what the job is supposed to be. And then him seeing the other side of what that sort of life is. And understanding and coming to that realization of who he wanted to be. And he held on to that until, his last breath. I know it sounds dramatic, but it's true. TJ took the treasurer position because he wanted to see good things not only be done for the people around him, but for the people of the city. He was always pushing for that. Um, he came to that realization all those years ago that the badge wasn't doing that, at least not for him. So he left.
Many years ago, I had a one-to-one with TJ when he was in the BBMC. And I was going through a lot. And I asked him why he made that decision. And I don't quite remember exactly what he told me. But I do remember telling him that I had been having similar thoughts and that things were hard. And like I said, I don't remember what he told me, but I remember his reasoning being incredibly compelling. And I'd like to think that when I do make this decision, I'd like to think that TJ would have seen this coming a long time ago. Hence our conversation years back.
Mm.
I don't know if I'm scared to go back to work because of the people or if I'm scared to do what I really am thinking, or both.
It's okay if it's a combination of both. Probably is. The idea of it is daunting. It's nerve wracking, exciting, scary. You don't need to, and I know you know this, but you don't need to rush into anything. So take your time, sit with it, really think about it, and go and talk with people. Give them those goodbyes if that's what you want to do. It's not like you won't ever see them again. You'll just maybe see them in a different context.
Yeah.
You talk to Rue about any of this?
No. She tried calling earlier and I hung up the phone because I was talking to Sean. And
Mm.
it was a part of the conversation when I didn't feel it was a good time to cut him off.
Mm. Okay. I talked to her yesterday about, you know, just all of this and even the notion, the hypothetical of you being either around or in the club. You know, I don't think she would outright say it because, you know, she's like me. She wants you to make your own decisions. She doesn't want to pressure you or whatever. Um, but the idea, she was excited about it. We talked about, you know, being able to keep our family life separate from, club family things and what that meant and what that looked like. And I gave her the example and I gave you yesterday about, you know, being able to separate ourselves in the way of, you know, Ziggy and Flop husbands or Ziggy and Flop Rue's fathers instead of, you know, Ziggy the chaplain or, Flop the officer. And she understood that and she, is wrapping her head around that because that's a new concept for her. But she liked the idea.
You know that I love you guys more than anything. As long as you always know that the things that I do, I always want to keep the family first.
Mm,
And I don't think any decision I make won't have you guys in consideration before anything.
mm, of course.
I do think that now is a better time more than ever that I talk to Rue.
Yeah. She around? Do you want me to call
Yeah, actually, let me give her a call. She called me originally, and I feel like I owe her that back.
her? Okay. Sure.
She's not answering. I'm gonna assume maybe you try and call after,
Okay.
so she'll answer for you.
Mm. She may have just had a headache or something. She's still on the limit list. Let me see. Hi, Nana. Do you know if Rue went to bed? Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Go, 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 go. Bye. They're not sure. Um, if she's still awake or not. Well, fuck. Hmm. It's okay. You know, we just, if not, we can talk to her later.
Yeah. I I'm past the point of my walkout, and I'm more on the mindset of leaving with a good heart, with good intention.
Hmm.
I I gotta start looking for a car.
Yeah.
The money we're making, abso-fucking-lutely.
Oh, true.
I gotta milk that out a little longer.
You could listen. All I'm saying is you could totally just outright buy a gauntlet right now. You have the fucking money. Okay. Sorry.
No, I'm talking about
Oh.
a street car.
Oh. Oh my god. I'm gonna fuck. Okay. All right. They're so hot.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. Wow. You sure you're not a switch?
Huh? What'd you say?
Let's just go back to the house.
You ever talk to Snow?
Uh, it's been a couple of weeks, but yeah, why?
Did he ever tell you his reason for leaving?
Uh, vaguely, but you know, I can get a hold of him. See if you want to talk to him.
Hmm. I'd like to talk to him.
Hmm. Okay.
So,
I'll meet you at the house.
it sounds good. You good?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I was, following you.
Making sure. Who would have thought that Miguel would be a reasoning? Yeah, Miguel really is Flops OG. Cozy, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate it. Can we get some hearts in chat, please? Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Sean didn't really plus 1,000 anything. Sean was Flop's deciding factor. Oop. Song. Here's a good song. Sean was blunt with Flop, but Flop, I knew that my character's decision would fall on the hands of Sean. No update from Rue?
No, not at the moment.
Gotcha. The fuck is that driving down there?
Everything all right?
Yeah, I saw somebody drive by without their headlights past the house. They were by the hunting spot.
Probably just pushers.
Do you want coffee?
Yeah, sure. I'll take some floppy.
Okay.
Floppy? That's all right.
Okay.
We got Dick
Floffy's,
on the mind.
yeah, Floffy's later. There you go.
All right, nice.
Coffee's the closest thing we'll get to tea.
You mean by that?
Shut the fuck up.
I've been getting tea the past 2 weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks is short. I'd go like a month at this fucking point. Jesus.
True, yeah.
I mean, fuck, you're awake at 2 a.m. That's all I need to know.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ah, he admits it. My fault. Let's go.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
Yeah. I do think that there's a lot that I'll have to think about, but I don't know. I I kind of knew that conversation was coming. I just didn't know to what capacity it was going to land,
Mm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I don't even know how to tell, or I guess how to start that conversation with Rue.
Mm. I don't know. Just tell her you talked to Sean. Easy as that.
Yeah. You don't think Sean wanted to keep his meet with me private, do you?
Um,
And I'm not
um,
talking about this meeting. I'm referring to him leaving the note at the hospital.
uh, maybe. That's tough to know. I mean, I suppose for now you can, you know, keep it to yourself, but at the same time, I'm sure anybody could have walked in and read the note, so I think ours probably knew that, people would find out, so I don't know. It's up to you.
I think I'm owed to tell Rue about the conversation regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could do that.
Mhm. There is someone else that I want to talk to as well.
Uh-huh.
And I was told to tell nobody,
Mm.
but I'm going to imagine that you are an okay person to talk about with hangarounds.
Mm-hmm.
You know all the hangarounds in the ADMC?
Yes. I don't know them. There's a couple that I don't know well, but I know who they are. Oh, you're about to mention Lovesick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I don't know that. And if anyone
Mm.
asks me, I don't know it.
Of course.
I never knew his reason for leaving, but I respect his reason.
Mm. Were you told his reason?
I'm glad
Okay,
that
if you
he's
want.
alive
Mm.
to have the opportunity to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in a position that a lot of people have been in before. Not many, but I'd say a fair bunch.
Mm-hmm.
I only get one shot at doing it right. And I want to do whatever needs to be done to do it right.
Mm. Well, we'll just, come with time and learning and, you know, yeah, and we'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Um, I'm I'm having a lot of feelings.
Like what?
I'm I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm, you know,
What are you nervous about?
just, maybe the nerves are just uh, me being excited and not really understanding it. So, um, yeah.
I hope you know. Um, I, in good faith, forget what the PD is.
Mm.
Me, in good faith, could not pull the trigger on an officer. I can't do that.
Mm.
Is that going to be a problem?
Probably at some point. For me personally, I struggled with that too for a bit. Uh, for me, it depends on who it is. It's always dependent on, you know, their character and, you know, how they carry themselves and who they are. Some of those guys are just, mean well, but are sometimes either misguided or just put in shitty situations.
Mm.
So I'd have a hard time doing that as well. But there is a good few in there that don't care and villainize and ostracize what would otherwise be decent people. Flawed, but decent people. So that is something that took me a bit to come to terms with, but I am there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's okay. You don't even need to think about all that right now. You have time to, process all this. That'll come later.
Yeah. Um, Not that this is a priority this second.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know a good car that I should look into buying that's not a Gauntlet?
Oh, for racing?
I didn't.
Sorry, I figure, streetcar, Blackjack's coming back. That's sorry. That's
I won't
I'm
confirm nor deny.
unironically, the Vigero is a good, starting cheap car for racing. I'm
I
not even
didn't.
kidding.
I didn't ask for cheap.
Oh, all right. Sorry. In which case, if we're talking about, those is either high-end sports cars or hypercars, you're gonna have to talk to some other folks about that. Fuck. Actually, as soon as you get to talk to Lovesick, that motherfucker has a several. I think it's like over $1 million car. I don't know how he's got that, but he fucking does. I don't know what Lovesick is doing to make money, but he is fucking making it. You can maybe talk to Kelly. Uh, Kelly is in the scene, so maybe talk to. I know you should, Snow would also probably be good. A good
Is
shout.
he in the scene? It wouldn't surprise me considering his
Mm,
past, but is
mm-hmm.
is he?
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, we can go racing. Oh God. Okay, deep breaths. Lots of things to do before any of that.
Mm-hmm.
I also, I yesterday I went and tanned a bit, and I laid out in the sun and fell asleep a little. So I got a tan now.
Looks good.
Thanks.
I hung out in a hospital bed and got a scar. What do you think?
Scars are pretty cool. Gonna go upstairs and fuck.
Yeah, sure.
All right, nice, perfect.
Holy fuck. I guess it's restart. Oh man. That dumb son of a bitch. Not the song I wanted. Give me some of that. Give me some of that Coulter Wall. I am. Thank you for the brand new tier 1 nightmare. Thank you, Antline, for the 25 months. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Irish, I'd like to think that you're laying in bed naked right now with a phone in your hand, with water on your nightstand, with a pillow under your legs, talking about all of your wet dreams you're going to have with Flop shooting cops.